We have just hit TP on this trade, on this live trade that was taken by the Vertex Blueprint EA. Let's do a breakdown of this one. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tans here, and in this video we are going to do a breakdown of the Blueprint Edge, and more importantly we are going to show you breakdowns of trades that the Blueprint EA has actually taken as well. So let's get on to the first breakdown. So the first trade that we're going to look at is this GU sell that was taken on the 9th of March, and this was during our London session window. Now this trade, what we can see is as simple as the rules of every single video that you've seen. What we need to do is, going into the session, we need to be aware of what the bias actually is. So we need to find the most recent sweep, and before the session, so the session obviously starts here, before the session we have this sweep, which means that we are looking to go short when the session begins. And then obviously you just need to be aware of when the new ranges are formed. You need to know when it's going to change, which is why it's probably best to split screen when you use TradingView, just so you can be aware of when price is changing bias, because here you're still going to continue to sell. As soon as it takes this low, you're going to look to buy. Anyway, so coming into session, we're obviously looking to sell. So coming in, we are looking to any sells that we can find. So that was on par, but here what we have is a sweep, and then we have an entry here which obviously loses. So this triggers in eventually here with a stop loss above here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm not going to worry about the TP. We know that hit stop loss, so we carry on moving. Then we have another high, and then we have a sweep just here with a cheeky little entry here. So one here with the stop loss above this high. Now, although the screenshot I showed you was of a win, it does still take these losses as well. I just haven't added them in this video, but you can see it is taking exactly the same trades as you're seeing here. Anyway, we have another loss, and then it gets invalidated, and then we don't have a sweep up until here. And this is the trade that you see in the screenshot, where we have a clear sweep, entry off the break of the sweeping candle with a stop loss above this high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's a 3R target which hits just okay, that's close enough, which hits just there. So that is as simple as that for London session on GU. Let's move on to the next one. So the next trade that we have is this EU sell, which is taken a London session on the 17th of March. So what we have here is, and this is quite an interesting example. So coming into the session, we obviously have the low being swept, which means we're looking to go long. Now, again, one thing to remember, same as I said, is having a split screen. You have to be aware of when the next ranges are going to be taken, especially in the session, right? So what we have here is, so coming into session, we're looking to go long. So if we look across, so essentially from here, we'll be looking to go long, but there's no valid sweeps to give us an entry, which is perfectly fine. But then what we have here is that we have a sweep off the high, which is this high here, but we also have a sweep here as well, which is a valid sweep with a valid entry, which is what the EA has taken, and this is again a valid trade to take. But the key thing to be aware of is it's very easy to miss if you aren't aware that it's also sweeping the a 15-minute fractal high, which is your bias time frame. Again, you can change the bias time frame to whatever you like. So what we have is a sweep of this high, and then we also have a sweep here, which is at the exact same time, and then we have a valid entry. If I just zoom into this, so we have the sweep, and entry is off the breakout of this candle with our stop loss above the high, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it's a 5R target which hits just here. Now what you see interestingly on the screenshot is that it's showing as red. That is because it's hit our stop profit. So what actually happens at this point is candles have sort of changed since live. So our stop profit automatically locks in a certain amount of profit when price gets close to your TP but then fluctuates a little bit. We don't like the fact that when it fluctuates and completely reverses. We want to be able to bank in this situation, so we have a unique system that actually locks in profit, preventing you from losing whatever you gained in that distance there. It's when you're roughly about 0.5 pips away from your TP, and it's very frustrating either hitting break even or going back to your stop loss if you don't use a break even rule in that situation when you just lost all this profit in between. That 0.5 pips is not going to make a massive difference in the overall gain and return. Obviously in this case, price, it did actually hit the full TP anyway, but we obviously got taken out on the stop profit there. Let's move on to the next trade. So the next trade again is another EU sell, which is a few days after, and in this situation this is also in London session as well. So coming into the session, what we have is a sweep of the low, a sweep of the high, and then which means we're looking to go short when the session starts, because the last thing that happens was this sweep on our buyer's time frame. Now coming into the session, what we have is the initial sweep. We have a sweep here, no entry, invalidation. Now in this case we have our major range and then we have our minor range. Both of them also got swept, and we gave a valid entry with a small move, and then eventually gets taken out. Again, the EA has taken these two losses as well prior to the win. We also then have, as soon as we get taken out, we also have a valid sweep. Hold on a sec. We have a valid sweep with a perfectly timed entry, and then again gets taken out. So that's -2, and then coming after that, we have a sweep here but no trade, which would have been a beautiful trade catch in there, but there was no valid entry because of the invalidation rule. We have another sweep here, invalid, and then we have another sweep with a clear entry here off the sweeping candle, off the refinement candle after the sweeping candle, and then a nicely timed TP again with a 3R target on this one. So let's move on to the next trade. So the next trade we have is another EU, and this is an EU sell on the same day as the last trade. Now the only difference here, now this is the only thing when you go to backtest, is that sometimes the candles and fractals change. So what actually happened at the time of the session is that we had a sweep of this high here from this candle, but in this case we had a little wick here, but I don't know where it's gone at this point. But the bias was to go short at this case. So what we have is coming into the session straight away, coming into here is we have a sweep with a entry just off here off the next refinement candle with our stop loss above the high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's a 3R target, which is just there. Simple as that. So one thing to be aware of, and I'm sure I mentioned it in quite a few videos now, is that sometimes the fractals change, sometimes the candles change. So whenever you do backtesting, you have to be aware that, especially when you're backtesting some of the trades that I take in this video as well, you may see discrepancies between what you're seeing and what I'm seeing. However, it's also different for me sometimes when I'm trading. I'm watching it live compared to even if I go back a few hours, you may see a difference in the fractals as well. So the best way to test an actual edge, once you grasp the idea when you back test, the best way to actually test an edge is go ahead and forward test it when in live time if you can, or within at least a few hours, just so you can see what the live situation actually is like, because it can differ from if you wait for another few days, for example. Let's move on to the next trade breakdown. So this is a trade currently running on USD CAD, which is just about to hit TP. Well, I hope it's just about to hit TP, where the stop loss has been moved to break even, and shortly we will move our stop loss to a stop profit as well, depending on how close this gets to TP. What I'll do is I'll do a breakdown of this trade as well. Let's just see how far it gets. So the live trade that you're just seeing is currently this sweep here. So obviously coming into the session, we're looking to go short, and the trade that's active at the minute is from this sweep with the entry off this refinement candle here, just after the sweeping candle. Stop loss above the high, and we're currently very close to TP, but now our stop loss is locked in, and our stop profit would also be triggered, but I think it's just missed it by a pipette, our stop profit. So we'll have a look and see what happens on this trade. Anyway, either way, the trade is protected, but it's just showing you how effective the edge can be in terms, especially with the EA, with the precision of the entries, because I mean a human entry would probably differ by 0.23, even a bit bigger, depending on how skilled you are to actually enter the trade. Whereas with obviously the EA, you get precision and perfect entry every single time with this. So we just have to wait and see what happens in this trade. A quick update: the trade has now just hit our TP after all of that. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and I hope that you're enjoying backtesting and using this edge in live time. If you are, be sure to send us your results on Instagram, email, our live chat on the website, just to let us know how you're getting on. I'm always interested to know how this free edge that I've put out for everyone, especially including all the videos that I've done for this edge and all the amount of time and effort that's gone in. I would love to see the results that it's producing for all of you guys. But for now, I will leave you all be, and I'll see you in the next video.